Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I release a Legacy video every Friday. Hello everyone, Martin here, back with another Legacy video. Before I get started, I just want to say a big thank you to my latest YouTube member. This is YouTube user Richard LeMay. Thank you so much, Richard, for your support, helping keep the lights on here on the Neville Shoot Legacy channel. Thank you to all the members, and if you want to become a member, there's a link in the description and you can show your support there, or you can choose not to. That's also completely fine. All right, today I'm going to be playing my what has sort of become my trusty, I want to say, Doom Frog list. This was very good in the uh, month leading up to the Grief ban, and I've not really been playing it a lot in the post Grief world, so we'll have to see. Um, so this is a deck that wants to kind of be able to go fast. We have 3 Lotus Petals. We have 5 Rituals, 4 Dark Ritual and 1 Cabal Ritual. We have 3 Cyclers. We have both Doomsday and the One Ring. I get some questions sometimes, like what would I suggest people do if they don't have the One Ring or if they don't want to play with it? And I would say I would probably want to explore personal tutors in some numbers, like in some number, maybe 2. I'm not sure I'd feel comfortable with 3, but like you could go for like 2 personal tutor and a Knight's Whisper. Maybe that would be kind of an interesting split. We're also playing Psychic Frog, which is just a very good Magic card. It helps us with our blue count, which would otherwise be quite low. It is a win condition all on its own, which means that we are able to win without putting Doomsday on the stack, even in game 1. It draws us the first card of our pile. It makes our opponent have to kind of both be able to protect against a combo and also keep removal. So, and then it's also builds a bridge from the main deck to the sideboard for when we're up against tempo decks, where we can board into this package here. Um, Now, touching on the sideboard, here's the thing. Like, I have been a little bit underwhelmed with Consigned to Memory. This was a card I decided to add into the sideboard because of what, like the presence of Eldrazi. But I just don't know that I think 2 Consigned to Memory haven't really performed there. And having it versus the rest of the format is a little bit meh, you know? Sure, you can randomly like really get another Doomsday deck, or if you can hold on to it versus like the Epic Storm or something, that's also really sweet. But it's just not. I don't think it's good enough. So I think I'm actually going to cut it. I'm going to add a copy of Emrakul and a copy of Sheldar Isle. Now, this gives us a, I think, necessary or at least appreciated pivot versus, or semi-pivot versus, uh, like pure control decks, of which there are quite a few, or at least I expect there to be in the coming meta. Like people are going to be trying out, like Jeskai control, I think. And it also just means that we are insulated versus Painter, which I also incidentally think is going to be a pretty popular deck choice, but we'll see. So versus Painter, I would completely board out of Doomsday and into this creature package, lots of removal, and then Sheldar, well, not Sheldar Isle probably, but Emrakul. Like, I would say almost certainly not Sheldar Isle because we're not playing Doomsday anymore. So, and the Emrakul is there then solely as a, you know, way to not lose to Grindstone Painter. Um, so if this becomes a known tech, painter players, good painter players can certainly beat it, and then they'll like arrange for, I don't know, like Soul Guide Lantern to exile it or whatever. But I think your run of the mill grindstone painter player is not going to have this on their radar coming out of Doomsday. So, all right, that's enough talk. I think let's go play a league. Okay, on the play in round number 1. Um, Heck yes. I mean, this is also what's kind of fun here. Turn 1 Psychic Frog with Daze and Force backup. I don't know what I'm up against, but I think that's sort of probably good enough versus the field here. I'm gonna fetch Underground, see if they want to spend a turn wastelanding us. Um, then that's at least a card I'm gonna draw, and hopefully draw another land. Okay, there's a pause here. Oh, Force of Will, pitching Blighted Agent, so it's Infect. Well, I mean, days be getting ya. They have second force here. That's a little bit intense. Okay, Frog is in, and they pitched their Infector. So I'm not really sure how to sideboard versus Infect, but probably I would like to board in a lot of removal as much as I have, which is like six-ish cards. Noble Hierarch. Okay, I'm happy about that. That's not a thing. Not a Glistener Elf. Ooh, Doomsday. Okay. I suppose a blue card would be nice here. Do I offer the trade, or do I just start pulling ahead on mana or on cards? I mean, I can just exile these three. I'll offer up the trade here, I guess. Oh, actually, probably not though, because they can pump the Hierarch if they have Invigorate. I'd rather not lose my Frog and gain 4 life. So I'm gonna exile these 3 cards here, and yeah, exile these 3 cards and give it flying. Let's draw a card, please. Cavern of Souls. That's not too exciting. Well, the good thing is they can't like kill us right now. Sometimes, like if they'd gone for a Glistener Elf instead of Noble Hierarch on turn 1, and their hand was like, I don't know, uh, lots of pump spells. Oh, and there's an Inkmoth Nexus. That's a little bit scary. So if they decide, if they animate their Inkmoth and then pump it, that... Ooh, I could also just try and go for Doomsday here. If I wanted to. But that means I'm losing to a Daze. They can only have so many cards in hand though, right? So if I were to make Doomsday before and it resolved, or I forced and whatever, and it resolved, even if I waited with my attack, I wouldn't be able to win on the same turn because like from that point, like there's no pile I can build that wins with no mana floating and just 1 card drawn. So I might as well, I think, attack first and then see what they do. Yeah, I think I'm just going to attack here. I can't give it flying anyways, so if they do have the Invigorate, we can then choose whether or not we want to make our stand here. The risky thing about like putting Doomsday on the stack is that I'm going to be tapped out and into like I'll lose to a like let's say Invigorate Berserk Daze. But we'll see. Let's see what they do here. First of all, looks like they're just letting me draw my card here. Ooh, Dark Ritual. Okay, so I no longer lose to a Daze, so that's good. I'm gonna name Merfolk with this, and then I'm going to cast Dark Ritual and put Doomsday on the stack, and hope they don't have like Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm. Okay, so Thassa's Oracle, 3 Cyclers, and probably, I don't know, second Thassa's Oracle. Could they be the sort of deck that runs like a Singleton Wasteland or something? Maybe like my basic island is better than the second Oracle. Okay, so I'm gonna put island on the bottom. We're gonna have the devotion from the frog anyways, or draw the card from the frog in either case. So, and then let's see. Hopefully they can't kill us through a force of will here, but it's not impossible. If they are running, like if they have the perfects here, they will kill us. Second, Ink Moth. I'm sort of happy about that. Like I'd be more concerned if they didn't like make a land drop. They're not doing anything. Okay, that tells me they have Force of Will here. Hard cast Force of Will. And I think I'll just go ahead and start cycling. They would need to be able to remove two things through a Force of Will to not lose here. So, and I'm gonna cycle Edge of Autumn, sacrificing the Cavern, because if they were to have, if I were like this way, I'm sort of quote unquote holding up days. Let's see. Stifle plus Force of Will would do it here. Stifle plus Daze, because I'm tapped out. Okay, the frog is in. Do you have a Stifle? You do not. Okay. All right, cool. This is tricky because, like, if I board in my removal, then you might say, oh, that's great. But they have, they probably have like 10 or 12 threats, like between Glistener Elf, Blighted Agent, and Blink Moth. And so I kind of don't really come out on top. Like sitting on a removal spell, if they just go like turn one Glistener Elf, turn two Blink Moth, then you're like not really, because the thing with Infect is they only need one of their creatures to survive combat, and then they can start pumping and stuff. And I'm not sure like removing all my Doomsday spells is going to be good here, but I don't know. Let's have a look at this. I do kind of like pivoting into a bit of a control role, if I'm being honest. Um, so what if I board out some number of like the cyclers and stuff, and let's say we want all the removal and some creatures, maybe not Barrowgoyf, maybe Shouldered instead. But that means we need to at least make two more cuts here. I guess I'm okay cutting the Edge of Autumn. And I expect they probably are a Veil of Summer deck post board. Cut one Thoughtseize. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. We'll see how we go. And there, if not, there's always game three. I'll keep this hand. It's obviously a bit clunky, with only one land and a lot of ponders. But yeah. And I wonder if I'm supposed to, respect the turn two kill here. I think I'm not. I mean, I have the days, but then if they have a counter spell, plus like just a million pump spells, then it's a little bit scary. But I think I'd rather, oh, tempting to take that ritual, but and there's a removal spell, but I think I can't afford to not be drawing any lands. Uh, let's say any order, and yes, I draw Fatal Push anyways. Yeah, they attack with their Ink Moth. I said Blink Moth. I meant Ink Moth. Invigorate. I mean, I don't know if there's a worse or better time to. I think I'm just gonna try and daze this. I think we might be out here. They have a full grip. I think if they protect this Invigorate, that means they got me. Or maybe they just got me anyways. Second Invigorate. Okay. Okay. So I'm half dead here. And I just have to. I have to pass with Fatal Push. And okay, they brainstorm. That's scary. Let's hope they choke. Like get brainstorm locked with no lands here, please. No. Okay, Noble Hierarch, so that means they aren't animating the Ink Moth this turn. So I think I will have to take this opportunity to brainstorm at my end of turn. Really want to hit that second land and maybe like a Force of Will. Well, there's the second land. Days, I'm not so sure how good that's going to be, but I think I'm going to put away Doomsday for now. And so the question is, do I risk them having Days? I don't think they had Days before, right? So they may not have it now. Second removal spell. It's not terrible, but I think I will shuffle here. I don't want the Doomsday or the Thassa. Force of Will, that's good. Oh, hang on. This says not. No, it just says target creature. Yeah, I thought for a second I couldn't kill Ingmoth. Never mind. What's this? 3 mana? This is Nadu? Okay, that's interesting. Maybe they had like a change of heart. So now they have a green mana floating. What I'd most like them to not have right now is another infect creature. Okay, so they animate the Ink Moth. They attack. I'm not going to do anything here. I think I'm going to wait for them to commit a pump spell. And if they don't do it, then I'll just I will try. I'll take the one in or the 2 infect, and then I'll try and fatal push it at end of turn. And let's see if they have something that answers that. Daze is what I'm most worried about, or I guess Flusterstorm. Veil of Summer. Oh, the reflexes. That's pretty good as well. Yeah, that does counter it. Okie doke. Land? Okay, land is good. I think I'll start off with a Ponder. Second Force of Will. Which, I mean, that's not very good if, if what they have is actual, if what they have is another Reflexes. I think I'll shuffle these. Lotus Petal. Well, that might end up mattering, but we'll see. They cast Brainstorm. I think if I was them and I had a pump spell, and since I'm not doing, like, the Doomsday player is not doing anything, I don't think I would pump. Oh, they have Wasteland. Interesting. I still think, actually, if they have Reflexes plus Invigorate, then I guess it doesn't matter. They would always want to start with the Reflexes. Alright, I am going to Petty Theft right now, and we'll... Oh, no, it says non-land. Never mind. Yeah. Okay, so we are sort of running out of time here. Need to be able to kill this Ink Moth next turn or win. Okay, let's cast a Ponder. Doomsday, huh? Well, what's the saying? A day late and a dollar short. I'll have to shuffle these. Okay, let's make our land drop and cast Brainstorm. Okay, so Frog blocks. Frog also, like, can trade, but it's gonna cost me cards. They only have 3 cards in hand though, so that's at least something. Force of Will. Pitching Nadu. Okay, I'm gonna Daze. That'll give me a. I'll happily discard this land. What's this? Float. Oh, what am I? What the heck? They had this to pay for days? Jeez. God damn it. I'm playing like shit. Yeah, I should have just forced. Okay. So now Frog is in. Now this will only be a sort of 1-turn band-aid if they have a pump spell as their last card in hand or the card they're going to draw. Okay, here we go. So this attacks. Yeah, gains exalted. I'm gonna exile 3 cards. Let's just grab some lands. And I'm gonna block. And I'll discard Lotus Petal. And then they probably can pump this, and I'll lose, but I mean the creature. Oh, that's interesting. They just didn't. They weren't able to. Okay. What's this? Blighted Agent? Yikes. Okay. So I have to find a removal spell. Um, ooh. Now, that's nice. Okay, I'll discard this land to actually be able to deal damage. I will attack. I don't suspect that they will want to trade here, but I'll be happy to let them save my removal spell. Okay, so we draw a card. Dismember, that's also pretty nice. So let's kill... Actually, should I be dismembering here? I think I should be, because Fatal Push can kill something that gets pumped real big where Dismember can't. And let's go. Another Blighted Agent, okay. And now they have mana open, so if they have like Legolas, Quick Reflexes, or Veil of Summer, I'm kind of in trouble here. Now it has to be Reflexes. I'm gonna attack. Not I'll offer up the trade once more, or not the trade, the chump. I get to draw, and I'll play this Delta to get Undercity Sewers. I'll cast a Blighted Agent now, or push on Agent now to have Daze to beat Veil. If they have reflexes, it won't matter anyways. Okay. Do they have another threat? So far they have lost 2 agents. So it looks like they're just passing. Are they attacking? Yeah. Let's get some action going. Feel incredibly uncomfortable sitting on 9 poison counters for this long. Okay. Undercity Sewers. I'll put Misty into the graveyard. Seems like there are better things to be drawing. Another frog, for instance. Okay. Sweet. Let's draw a card. How about a Force of Will? Oh, the One Ring. That's also pretty exciting. Okay. I'm going to play my second frog here. So we saw them pitch Nadu, so they are also like just a Nadu deck. Shouldered. Holy moly. Okay, so actually I'm going to exile 6 cards here from my graveyard, because I'm not using the cards in my graveyard anyways. And I would rather draw a card than kill Noble Hierarch, which is sort of the option we're giving them. Now, what do I take? Or rather, if I draw land here, what do I cast first? Ring or Shouldered? I think maybe Shouldered, because I think Ring is and I even am able to play around Daze here, because I think Ring is better for the, like, if they find and resolve an infect creature next turn, for instance. I'm gonna actually take the swamp here in case they wait, like if I lose my pedal and they wasteland another like one of my duels here. Okay, shoulder is in. This is gonna speed up the clock significantly. Okay, looks like they're just passing. I wonder what they're drawing. Maybe counter spells or pump spells would be my guess. Oh, I even get to find out though, because there was a Thoughtseize. So I think I'm going to start off with a Thoughtseize. They could have a Veil here. That would be a spell they would have drawn and not cast. Ugh, gross. Okay, well, that's a Veil they don't have, like, next turn. So if I were to, like, attack with Shieldred and then they invigorate their Hierarch. That's not enough. They would need to like double pump their Hierarch. Exile 3 cards. I'm just gonna do the same thing though. Not too concerned here, and I think I would rather not lose Shieldred. Still, and they still don't have like an Infector, so I'll just hold on to the ring here. Maybe I could afford to discard this Daze, but I'm not sure. I think Daze might end up like potentially being relevant because they don't have that much mana. There's a Dark Ritual. And there's Force of Will. Sweet. Okay. Tell you what, I think I'm actually gonna Dark Ritual out this ring here. If they have Force of Will, then they use Force of Will here, and that's fine. And then I have Force of Will for whatever might be coming up nasty things next turn, and they can't counter it. And if they don't, then I have the ring, and you know, that's a pretty powerful thing as well. And looks like I just got the ring. Okay, let's draw a card. Get the old Shieldred plus the One Ring. Shenanigans happening here. Okay, I'll pass. Blighted Agent. Sure. You got it. Let me just read Invigorate. Target. If you control a forest, you may have an opponent gain 3 life. Yeah, they can't like have themselves gain any life. So that should mean the end of the road here for our friend. Because I'm about to draw a bunch of cards and I'll be able to pump the ring, pump the frogs, I mean. So let's start by drawing 2. And let's get these guys flying. And so I think I'll discard all my non-blue cards to pump them. And even if they remove one of them, it's fine. Okay. Discard a card, yes please. I think I'll just leave it at this. Or should I? No, I'm gonna go for lethal right now. And then like if they remove this. Okay, they concede. GG's opponent. Alright, unfortunately, I wasn't recording for round 2 of this league, so I'll just do that as a quick replay. It was a fairly quick match, and then I'll continue recording live for round number 3. So for round number 2, we were on the draw. We mulliganed here because no lands. We kept this and bottomed the LED, and we're up against a Polluted Delta mirror. And I kept drawing lands and bombs here, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, there's no immediate rush to do stuff, so let's try and just like start playing our things. And I got Undercity Sewers here as I was not able to play around Wasteland anyways. Bottomed a land, drew a land anyways, and I cast a frog. But unfortunately, Frog gets dazed here, which is not the end of the world. The opponent is set back a land drop, which makes my daze potentially a lot better. They just go land drop go. A bit unsure what I'm up against here, but I decided to play another Frog and not a Doomsday in case they have a second daze. So, since I also drew a 4th land, so yeah, here we go. They push it. Not really able to do much about that. They have Beanstalk here, so it is a bug Beanstalk deck. Is my my takeaway. I decide to test the waters with a Doomsday, and they have Spell Pierce, which just works out perfectly for me. If they had Force of Will, they get to draw a card. I can't do anything, but they have Spell Pierce, and I have Daze. So there we go. And Doomsday resolves. I make a Doomsday pile with both Oracles, Cavern of Souls, a Thoughtseize, and a basic island to fetch out. And then it's a little bit of a cumbersome pile, and I end up like hoping that they just aren't able to like make Murktide right now. which they don't. They just make a land drop and pass. And I have my Thoughtseize, which I decide to save. I'd rather like Thoughtseize is mostly there in case they have something like Stifle, which is something they would play here. And now they have Murktide. They decide to play it. Even through the Thoughtseize, I can actually take one hit from the Murktide, but then I can't fetch. And if they have something like Wither Bloom, that also can change the equation. So I decide to Thoughtseize here, and they have nothing. Well, they have Murderous Cut, so I have to take that, but they don't have a blue card to pair with their Force. So I take the Murderous Cut, and I win the game. So for the second game, you can't see my sideboarding process, but you can look at my sideboard here. I basically boarded out Doomsday, the Doomsday package, boarded in all the creatures in the black removal. And I get I think, a pretty serviceable hand here. They just go land, go. I decide to Thoughtseize on turn 1. They cast Brainstorm here, and I'm very tempted to Daze, but decide to not do it anyways. They show me 3 Force of Wills, of which I take 1, and then 2 black removal spells in a Wasteland. So them dazing, or rather wastelanding me here, is obviously not great, but I did draw a second land, and it does mean my dazes are like suddenly on a bit more. And I draw Brainstorm, and they miss their second land drop. I decide to cycle the Street Wraith here. I draw a second ring, and I cast Brainstorm. And I basically want everything here, but I end up putting back Ring and Fatal Push. And put Fatal Push on top, so if they were to drop a creature now on this next turn, I could just draw the Fatal Push. But they don't, so I fetch. And I draw... I think it's a second Dark Ritual, yeah. And so here I like completely space out and think I still have the second ring in hand. I'm like, okay, well they have a Force, so I can just like start chewing through Force of Wills now. Luckily it wasn't like they had drawn a Spell Pierce, so they get rid of their Force of Will and the second Force. And then we just go like draw go for a little bit and nothing much happens, and I think they resolve like up the Beanstalk. And I get to a point where like I could put Shieldred on the stack here, but it's not too comfortable because I know of the removal spells in hand. They could have shuffled them away with the Brainstorm, or at least one of them, I think, but I don't know. They ponder. Okay, so now I get to, I think I decide to cast the Shieldred, also because I draw Force of Will, which is pretty cool. So they Fatal Push in my end step, which I think maybe that was a bit of a punt. They should have waited, but I don't know what they were going to use their mana for. So I daze, they daze, and for some inexplicable reason, I forget that I have a Lotus Petal in play, and I just daze back. Yeah, I don't know. What a punt. But never punished because they don't have the Shieldred's Edict anymore. And they draw a second or cast a second Beanstalk, which just means now that they're taking massive chunks of damage off of Shieldred. I'm never punished. Draw another blue card for the Brainstorm or for the Force of Will, and suddenly I'm in a pretty commanding position. They flash in Bowmasters. I could have just done nothing, but I decided to cash in on some life total here, and hope to hit another blue card, which I do. I hit a Frog, gain 6 life. And they have Bowmasters, that's fine. They jump block. And then on their next turn here, they cast a Murktide, which deals them 4 damage. And I don't even counter it. I'm like, you can have Murktide. I'm winning this race. You're at 5. Like, you can basically never cast anything that triggers your Beanstalks while a Shieldred is in play. And we have the Force of Will as backup, so that's pretty nice. So I just pass here, and I think that's pretty much, that's it. Yeah, they concede. So a pretty sweet 2-0 in spite of some misplays. All right, so yeah, sorry you didn't get to see that live, but now the rest of the league will be live. All right, on the play for round number 3. And we get this hand, which is fine. I think I'm going to just go Polluted Delta Island Ponder. And if we can find like a Dark Ritual, then we're potentially looking at a turn 2 the One Ring, which would be kind of sweet. We do find a Dark Ritual, and we also find a Lotus Petal, which would make the set play possible through a daze. So, would also mean we're able to do it even if we have to daze something this turn. Prismatic Vista, go. Okay, that's somewhat disappointing because that means they can, you know, they can just pay for a daze. Prismatic Vista, huh? All right, I'm gonna brainstorm, and that finds Force of Will, which is kind of sweet. Let's put away Unearth and Snow-Covered Swamp. And I'm gonna bank on Prismatic Vista and Daze not being in the same deck. So, and I'm gonna hope they're also not sitting on like a Flusterstorm, and that they decide to use that on this Dark Ritual. If they have Spell Pierce, then I can daze that. Okay, so Ritual resolves. Let's try this ring. Alright, well that forced some action. There's a blue. Mana, Brainstorm, sure. Okay, now I feel like they need triple Force of Will. If they're not a Daze deck. Okay, ring's in, sweet. Let's draw a card. Another ring. Okay, so who plays Prismatic Vista and Basic Island? It's either some kind of control deck, I would say. I would guess, like a Jeskai control deck, or it is like High Tide. In either case, okay, it's not High Tide. Ponder, sure. Oh, I love this Ponder art. They don't shuffle. Okay, cool, cool. So we take some damage here. We start just drawing lots of cards. Thoughtseize, I like that. Even though the life loss is a little bit, you know. We didn't draw any lands here. I think I will Thoughtseize, and then probably cast Ponder. Okay, they just concede. Sweet. So Tropical Island and Island. It could be Show and Tell. I don't feel like it's a Nadu deck that just does that much cantripping and has no creatures. It could just be like some kind of like 4-color beanstalk pile. Okay. Maybe I'll bring in the Sheldog Isle and the Emrakul, and I'll board out like Lion's Eye Diamond and a couple of the Cyclers maybe. Second Thassa. What else might be good versus them? Maybe like the Shieldrits? I don't know. It's hard to know when it's hard to know. Let's try this. Oof, this is a mulligan. This is slightly less terrible, but pretty terrible nonetheless. I'm gonna, maybe actually I would rather bottom Cavern. No, let's bottom Sheldog Isle. Like Cavern is great with Shieldred and decent with Frog. And they kept 7. Didn't I just that? Now my hand kind of just looks like the one I tossed away. Volcanic Island. Okay, so it leads me further along towards thinking it's Show and Tell. This is a combo player's Ponder, by the way. Don't tell me. Don't ask me why I feel that way. But they shuffle. Yeah, Show and Tell. Okay, so going to fetch Undercity Sewers here. Like to find like Thoughtseize or Force. Not another land though. That's for sure. Okay. Okay. Let's just pass here. We can Force of Will. We can cycle Unearth to like Hail Mary into a daze, I guess. Disruptor Flute. Okay. I'm okay with that. They probably name the ring. I don't know. Could be they know what's up and they name Doomsday. Force of Will. Wow. Okay, that's cool. That means I can't cast Force of Will right now. Very interesting. So show and tell. All right, I'm gonna hope to hit my Emrakul here. Nope. Let's put Doomsday into the graveyard. Is like, so if they have sneak attack, then dazing this means they won't kill us now, but next turn. Guess I don't think it'll matter. Okay, Burden Catacombs, sneak attack. Okay, okay. Here comes sneak attack. It's Emrakul. I lose my lands and drop to 4. So that's not great. Is this target opponent or is this anyone? Yeah, okay, so it's symmetrical. That's something at least. I guess I thought these here I go down to 2. Means I can't fetch anymore if I want to put Doomsday on the stack. Okay, that's good. So now they have a land. They're still massively ahead, but if I draw like a Psychic Frog, that would be insane. There's the land. Or they could just top deck another fatty. Who cares? Yeah, I'm at 2. That's not a fatty, but okay, Hull Breacher, that's good to know. Does this change anything? Does this change anything? Probably not. Maybe Brazen Borrower is better. I don't know. Nah. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Heck yes. Turn 1 the ring with force backup. Where do I sign up? So we have to hope they don't have double force. And if they don't, then I feel pretty okay. Though not like 100%. And if they have double force here, I've just lost. Okay, that didn't happen, so we get to start drawing cards. So Disruptor Flute is a thing. If they name Ring, I can't activate it. But let's hope that the card advantage here can pull us ahead. Yeah, the daze is nice. I'm going to ponder here, looking for a creature or Doomsday. I'll take Frog, I guess. Though Frog is a little bit slow. But yeah, let's try this. And they have the green splash, so they possibly have Veil of Summer. I have to be mindful of that. Ponder, sure. Tapping out a red, leaving up green. There we go. Don't shuffle. Okay. So I'm about to have drawn 6 cards with the ring on my turn here. So hopefully we can sort of maneuver that into a win, but we shall see. I think I'll put Brainstorm in the graveyard. Kind of looking for more force effects. Yes, please. And or win conditions. There's a Doomsday. So what happens here? I could Thoughtseize, then they Veil, then I Daze, and then next turn I can just Doomsday and draw my whole pile. And keep up 2 Force of Wills. That seems good. They force. So I think I'm pretty interested in forcing back. I'm gonna pitch the Ponder. They probably have Veil now or something for like a blowout. Yeah, maybe not. Second force. Consigned to memory. Okay. Okay, I'm a chicken. I'll save my last force of will. Force plus days. They have 3 cards. Maybe it's like sneak attack, or like show and tell, fatty, and a land. Yeah. Force of le will. Pyroblast. Days your show and tell. They concede. Yay! Alright, 3-0. Keep it going. Alright, on the play once more for round number 4. I will keep this. We need Ponder to hit another land and some interaction probably, but this is pretty exciting. Alright, opponent revealed Devourer of Destiny, so we're up against Eldrazi. Oops, just click through my first main phase here. So let's just make sure we don't do the same for the second. I'm going to fetch basic island here and cast a Ponder. Okay. I think I'll pick up the days here and have that, and then I'll play Frog next turn. Frog has been kind of underwhelming for me versus this deck because of that command card that can sort of hold them over until they get to big enough mana to cast the Devourer. They exile some stuff. Okay. So let's cast a Frog and hope that like days plus second Frog is going to be good enough here. Okay, Mox Diamond means they can now cast Thought-Knot Seers through a daze, which is unfortunate. And that is exactly what's happening. Yeah, sure. They take my Brainstorm. Fair enough. Okay. So I'm going to attack here. I'm ready to like discard some stuff to kill this Thought-Knot Seer. And that is what's happening. So I'm going to discard Thassa's Oracle. I'm going to discard the One Ring. And I'm going to discard Daze. So Thought-Knot Seer dies. I draw another Brainstorm. I think I just play my second Frog here. And pass. Okay, second Temple. And they have the Devourer, so they can just kill my... Oh, but they have a Myco spawn instead. They just want to nuke both my lands. That's fair. Alright, so there we go. Kill my land. I think basically I'm going to be discarding some stuff here. Probably discard 2 cards. Give the things flying. And then just start like attacking over the Myco spawn. Love to draw land and Thoughtseize here. Best 2 draws. Okay. Doomsday and LED. I'd rather keep LED to pump a frog. Yep. You get to kill one of my frogs. Take the big one. Makes sense. And now we have to hope that they are sort of out of gas. They beat me down to 16 here. And then next turn they can beat me down to 7. Meanwhile, I can beat them down to 7 and then next turn kill them. But it's going to be tight. It basically banks on them having nothing. They do have 2 cards in hand. Okay, so I'm going to discard the black cards at least. Okay, let's see. Now minus is 6/7, and it will take them to 7. And I think that's good enough because if I do draw Force of Will off of this, I would like to keep it to have against the command because it's going to be lethal next turn anyways. Okay, that wasn't it though. Okay, we basically have to hope that they have three bricks in hand here. Well, one of them was, but not expecting. Line breaker. What does this do? Does this kill me? I don't think this kills me. Double line breaker. That probably kills me, right? They give something +8/+8. Is that it? And haste. Yeah, so that's 7/14. Plenty lethal. Okay, GG's. All right. Yeah. You don't beat Eldrazi by playing a creature game. At least that's not my experience. Maybe Barrowgoyf changes that, but I'm not so sure. I'd honestly rather just be a fast Doomsday deck and not really board here. Yeah, I think that's it. Alrighty. Yeah, sold. I'm going to accept that I will lose to what do you call it? Disruptor Flute here, because I have both oracles in hand. The way to beat Disruptor Flute is to consider away the oracle and draw an earth. That's going to take time out of my busy schedule of like I would have to draw brainstorm, then brainstorm into consider on earth pedal, and then I still wouldn't be able to do it on the same turn. All right, let's go. So, Dark Ritual Doomsday. Make the pile basic island that I will fetch. And then Cyclers Galore. And then maybe Cavern of Souls as the last card. In case they kind of. Oh, that's the last card I say. But then. Yeah, okay. I hadn't gotten my island. Yeah, in case they somehow have like Double Spirit Guide, Ancient Tomb, Chalice for 2 here. Let's try that. Pass. They did have a Wasteland. Okay. Oh no! God damn it! I clicked through my turn. God damn it! Have I? Is it? Has it processed? My computer is super slow. Uh, I don't know if it's their turn. Oh, okay. It looks like they have priority, so they're just a little bit slow on taking the turn or taking the priority. So if they have second Wasteland, I think I just cycle, and then I keep Edge of Autumn in hand, then I fetch the basic island, and hope that's good enough. There's a Cavern of Souls. Eldrazi. Okay. Should be fine here. Okay, so we can cycle. And I'm going to fetch basic island. And I'll cycle again. Merfolk and hopefully... Yeah. All right, cool. I am not going to pivot into the creature plan. It honestly is just not good enough, I don't think. Whenever you end up with a game that slows down versus this deck, they just eventually completely overwhelm you. I'm honestly a little bit like I don't want Psychic Frog in my deck, but I don't really have anything that amazing to board in. Like I guess like the problem with boarding and removal versus Eldrazi is that they will have garnered it, like they will have gotten their advantage on the cast or ETB with Thought Knots here, so like you're already down, but I think I'm just gonna resubmit. It's not great because now they know for sure what we're doing and they can like mulligan accordingly. And if they have like Disruptor Flute and like Cavern into Thought Not Seer or whatever, then it's pretty tough. Okay, I'll keep this. It promises things, but we need a bit of luck. They keep 7. That's scary. Mox Diamond. Okay, I don't think that's the Force of Will. Okay. Now they can cast they can cast Disruptor Flute. They can cast the command. Oh, that's really good. I think I'm gonna I'm gonna draw the underground sea here, and I'm gonna play out the petals so that if they go Cavern of Souls, Thought Not Seer here, I can still I can draw Doomsday and cast it. Is this the flute? Might be flute time. Kozilek's Command. Target player set scries. Okay, so they are creating things here. I think honestly I want to daze this. Hopefully they don't have a spirit guide. You just don't know when your counter spells are going to be actually like good for anything at a later point, and giving them all that mana is not very appealing. Thought Nuts here. I'm just gonna force of will this and go on with my life. And I'm gonna. Oh, I guess I can't. I just pitched. I just pitched the thing. Uh, consider. So I can't. I can't do the unearth thing. So we're kind of screwed versus Disruptor Flute. We have 3 lands. So let's put in both oracles. And maybe the cavern is not necessary, but I guess I'll take it anyways. Yeah, I'm gonna take it. Like they aren't gonna have Chalice for 2, but you know if they do, it's just such a crappy feeling. Let's put cavern on the bottom, and then we can like start putting Thassa's oracles on the stack next turn. If they have the flute, they have the flute. So be it. Devourer of Destiny. Okay. That doesn't do anything. And I do believe that ought to wrap it up here. Unless I'm missing something. Alright, cool. 4-0. How about that? It's a trophy match coming up. Okay, we're on the play for round number 5. And this is risky. I'm going to keep this on the back of turn 1 uncounterable frog, but it is super risky because we don't have the days, the island to pick up a daze. We're not really doing anything if they answer this frog. So if they have just like 1 mana removal, kill frog, we will have 2 for 1 to ourselves, and we'll be sitting on a Cavern of Souls naming frog that doesn't really function very well for the rest of the game probably. Now we can still draw more frogs, I guess. All right, I'm gonna lead on the petal, so you know that is the counterable spell here. Okay, that's not something that kills the frog, so that's good. Oh, it's DRC. Now I feel pretty good about my frog. Yep, you have Mishra's Bauble. This is likely Grixis Delver, and ooh, they like what they saw on top. So if it's Grixis Delver, they will have answers to frog. Maybe like their own frog, I don't know, but like Fatal Push probably. That's very good. Oh, that's so good. Now I have a daze. I get to cast the rest of my spells here. Oof. Hold me closer, Tiny Dancer. Yeah, I want all of this. Okay, so I'm gonna offer up the trade here, or not the trade, obviously the chump, which there's 0 way they will accept this. So I'm just gonna get to draw my card, and if they do, like, then great. That's still the same sort of card advantage. And if they go like land fatal push, I can't do anything about it. But then I have a lot of cool stuff coming up. If they play a frog, I'm probably interested in dazing it. Oh, this is Molten Collapse. I feel like I probably daze this. I was gonna say if they have double daze or whatever, then that's kind of scary. Okay, so now we draw a Cabal Ritual. And we Thoughtseize them. So I'm going to do that. The DRC has Delirium now, which means it's going to be big-ish. Okay. So they have stuff that cares about the graveyard. They're able to cast a Psychic Frog of their own. I think I'm actually going to take the Ponder here. Yeah. It's a little bit upsetting that they get to go look for Force of Will. But if they don't find it, then I think we get to win. They could also find like Wasteland. That would be quite annoying. Let's see what we draw here. We draw Brainstorm. Okay. They start with the attack. We took a Ponder. Wonder if they just want to make like Murktide here. They have a lot of options. Mostly I just hope they don't Brainstorm and just tap out and move on with their life. Tamio. Okay, so that was the card we didn't know about. They can flip her right away if they cast the Brainstorm. And looks like that's what they want to do. They leave a card on top. I would assume that's either a Wasteland, a Force of Will, or a removal spell. Tamio flips. Flippity flop. Tamio pluses. Okay. There's a Wasteland. Right on. Now, have they also found a counterspell? Is the question. What's the play here? So I think we try to cast Doomsday through Force and Daze. That resolved. So Frog can attack and draw a Petal, and then we can win the normal way, but it does mean they cannot have anything. So I'm okay taking that gamble, but it is a gamble. And LED. Okay, so we discard a card to Frog to give it enough power to deal damage, and then it draws Petal. And then we go for the Consider pile. So Thos on the bottom, Street Wraith, and then we just need Petal on top. We're gonna discard the land here, and then we're gonna attack Tamio and draw a card. I don't believe they have a Daze. I think they would have dazed the Doomsday. They could have Force of Will and just decided, well, we're gonna just like they have to make a move this turn. We have the Force. It's fine. Oh, they had the Daze. Wow. Okay. Okay. So I think I probably have lost then, but we'll see. So I take 3. I think you just have Bolt here, I guess. But if they have Frog or like just a blocker, then I've also lost, I think, because I think I need to draw a card with the Frog. I'm gonna draw Consider, and then Consider draws. I mean, I guess I could keep Frog back. So they flip her to bring back Daze. Okay. And this has to be Frog, right? Fatal Push on the Frog. Okay. GG's. Can't beat that. All right. That's not so good. So honestly, what I feel like doing here is not to make the whole sideboard pivot, and instead I want to try and win with a fast Doomsday. And then if there is a game 3, I'm gonna pivot into like completely out of Doomsday. Okay, let's see if we can spin bronze into gold here. I think when I'm mulligan this, it's not what I wanted. This is what I want. So gonna bottom unearth. I'm gonna fetch Underground Sea, cast Ponder, go looking for a Daze or a Force of Will. Plus blue card, I guess. And we'll see how we do. Oops. Alternatively, like I'll take a Dark Ritual so that I could like resolve multiple Doomsdays over the coming turns. Okay, I will shuffle these. Okay, there's Force of Will. If they just wasteland me here, it's kind of bad. And they do. Okay, well, we'll see. Any blue card I'm okay with. And then I just need to like draw land soon. There you go, Ponder. How about a Dark Ritual? Dark Ritual, best draw right now. They don't shuffle. Second Petal. Oh, this is a pretty big beating if they have two counter magic, two pieces of counter magic. I am gonna go for it though. Reckless, some might say. I mean, they seem to be waiting right now. Okay, at least it wasn't Daze. I'll force back. Kind of expecting them to have a second force here. Kept the Ponder. They do. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So now I'm kind of just dead in the water here. If I draw a Dark Ritual, I mean, they didn't have Daze, so if I draw a Dark Ritual, that's obviously very delightful, but not looking too good for our hero. Take a land. And what do they have that makes them just pass the turn here like that? Against my one card. Like if they had a frog, they would have played it last turn, right? So they're sitting on some kind of reactionary spells here. Could be Wasteland, could be more counter magic, could be Stifle, could be Consign to Memory. I'm going to get Undercity Sewers, see if I can hit a land. I'll take a Thoughtseize. It says Bowmasters. Yikes. Okay. That's not so awesome. Yeah. I'll take the Force because Force kills my, like, counters my Doomsday. But, I mean, they beat me down to 12 here. If I put Thoughtseize or Doomsday on the stack, I'm at 6. And then I have to discard their thing, their Consign to Memory. And that cost me 2 life, and I have to not be dead to the Bowmasters, so... And this looks like Murktide. Ah, bummer. Yeah, we're going to lose this one. Oh, the trophy was in sight. Alright. Think I am ready to pack it in. Psychic Frog. That doesn't really change anything. They have Molten Collapse anyways. Alright, GG's opponent. Yeah, not sure. Maybe I'm supposed to just go for that that thing. Go for the pivot anyways. All right, let's talk about this list. I love it. Yeah, I really am thrilled about it. I think basically I feel like the sideboard can't be. I can't figure out how to tune it for everything. So for instance, right now, like not having a single Force of Negation and not really having anything to board in the Sneak and Show matchup is not amazing. We didn't face Painter, but I would feel really good facing Painter with this list. We did get lucky on that Infect matchup where we like spent multiple turns on like 9 poison counters, but I think I just like there were like especially round 1 was like brought to you by Psychic Frog, right? The honestly, I feel like Psychic Frog is going to get banned in Legacy. It's not going to happen right now because they just did the ban, so we'll have it for a little bit longer. But this card is really good. It's very good, and it is very good in shells that people don't like when they get cards like that. So Delver Tempo Shells, and I think it's going to cause enough of an uproar and enough of like banging people banging the drum about it that it will get banned. So the way I see it is, I'm going to just enjoy it for as long as I can, um, and we'll take it from there. I don't know. We'll see. It kind of feels like if Dreadhorde Arcanist had been blue or black, you know, there like we couldn't really profitably play Dreadhorde Arcanist in Doomsday because it required a red splash. It didn't pitch to force. It just and it's not the same card in any case. Like DHA, I guess the abbreviation, the Dreadhorde Arcanist, wasn't really a win condition on its own. Like but which Frog is or can be. Um, but yeah, so let me know what you think. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for sticking it out until the end here. Do consider subscribing to the channel. That really helps a lot. Do the whole YouTube stuff, like, comment, all that stuff. And I will be back with some more Legacy. Bye bye.